Hi guys, Catmaster here. Before we go into this video, I want to give you a really important public service announcement with a small spoiler alert. Spoiler starting now. So at some point in the quest line with the NPC Kavas that is introduced in Synthesis League, Kavas disappears and Zana takes over Kavas' position. So you meet Zana in the memory nexus and you also meet Zana in the maps, and she will let you into those memory fragments. Now that's not a problem on your first character, but if you plan to roll a second character in your league and you don't engage with Kavas and let him show you his memory nexus before Zana overtakes, then you won't have the memory nexus unlocked on your mini-map thing overview and you won't be able to access it. So really make sure that while leveling, at least once during a fragment, you click on Kavas and you say, let me visit the nexus, so that it's on your map and then you can go there. So this video is going to be a quick overview of what happened so far in my hardcore solo self-found adventures in the new Path of Exile Synthesis League. I want to give you a small history of my characters, what starter I went for, and why and how it went so far. And then I'm gonna give you my 2 cents on the league mechanics and what I found out so far and what I'm hyped to still try out. So at first I didn't have any idea what to play exactly. I decided spontaneously to go for ED Contagion Trickster because ED Contagion and Blight all got slight buffs, and there was some interesting additions and changes to the Trickster. In addition to that, there was some power shifts. Blight applies wither stacks instead of causing enemies to take increased chaos damage now if you use the Spreading Rod Threshold Jewel. And there was the addition of the infused channeling support gem, which if used correctly now gives you global 10% more chaos damage. Also they changed how curses work against unique bosses, so Despair is way better offensively against those juicy single targets. So I think on the whole, ED Contagion as a build concept comes out massively ahead in this patch. But that's only a conclusion I drew after I actually played it. I just thought it was better than before. So my only planned strategy was to 3-link Blight and Contagion each in a recipe crafted +1 Chaos Gem 1, and later on add a 4-link Essence Drain for single target. And Contagion is actually enough damage most of the times to kill White Pack with a single cast if it's set up correctly and you're not too underleveled. Later on, of course, you set it up for utility, and as gems gain level damage, it's actually fine progressing to yellow maps on a 4-link even. So that was the plan, but in practice it turns out I'm pretty bad at this game, and I died to which was pretty much complacency and overconfidence early on, paired with a fair bit of nasty RNG. Eventually, on the 4th character, we did make it to maps. We got our Delve set up to be able to farm stuff there, and we even played around with memory fragments. It was going well, and I finally was climbing ladder ranks in the top 200 overall, and I was making my way into the top 50 Trickster when I was trying to farm some currency in Delve, and I made a series of very bad mistakes and suicided my character at level 89, rank 41 Trickster to darkness damage. I just stopped for a moment and I thought about that actually most of the progression I had done, lab trials, map progression, was still there and not lost, and I had a lot of the gear I'd used. So I decided to level the exact same build again, and including 3 labs and some needed breaks, I was able to get back to level 79 within like 9 to 10 hours when I got blown up by a random fortification trash mob. Yeah. Leveling and boss kills actually all went extremely smoothly, even underleveled on life sprigs and double 5-link skills in a tabula, so I'm looking forward to doing this exact same leveling again. Essence Drain Contagion is mechanically very strong. The proliferating Chaos Degen feels so good, particularly in Delve, but pretty much anywhere where there's a lot of monster packs closely together. And the ED life regen can be easily converted over to ES region with Zealot's Oath, and both Trickster and Occultist make for excellent transitions to CI. CI is in a really good place. Life-based, it's great. Skill is great. Both thumbs up if you're asking me whether this is a good starter. I do intend to make a video on how to level this, explained for new and returning players with some more background information on vendor recipes, crafting locations. If you'd like to see that, let me know. So I'm quickly gonna go over my gear and my passive tree. As you can see, I'm using the Eilerdex for the pretty purple power charges, which was very much just a cosmetic decision, but at the time that I found it, I didn't have an amulet with better life anyway, and the mana regen is kind of useful. The little Mind Over Matter effect doesn't do that much because I actually only have 88 unreserved mana, but it never brought me into a situation where I didn't have enough unreserved mana or enough mana free to use my skills. My movement skill is free anyway because I have Weave the Arcane as a trickster. So I thought this was pretty nice because, you know, Enfeeble and Despair, green, purple. Just cosmetic decisions, like I said. I did manage to find a pretty epic Mind Cage which has double tier 1 life rolls, so it's actually one of perfect life, 131 life out of maximum 132. I'm using a Sappho's frame because I found 2 of them. I was intending to use the second one on a corruption altar or use the corruption altar on the Sappho's frame, but now that I ripped, probably not anymore, probably gonna use it on another build. I found this Varigalia, which dropped like this, with a really nice life roll, double tier 2 resists, and a free suffix actually, so I could craft another resist. Insane SSF value. I also managed to link it in a reasonable amount of jewelers and fuses. Pretty nice. The rest is pretty much just filler gear. The wand has spell damage and cast speed. Wow. Resist and life on the rings. And some life rolls. And of course 30% movement speed, because you really want to go fast, right? On the passive tree side of things, we build like this. Coming out through the chaos damage, picking up life and damage and damage and life, and damage and life and life, and aggro and phase aggro. Pretty much this is important to get before maps or before you engage with anything that is higher than white maps and side areas, like, you know, incursions and stuff, because stuff can get pretty bursty there. And then just picking up more life, AoE damage, life, an additional curse, damage, life, life, and duration. So nothing wild or super special here, and I can recommend it. So I said I was gonna go over the league mechanics as well, my experiences with that, and what I plan for the next build, but I'm gonna make separate videos about that because I really want to finish working on this one right now and come online with a stream, and yeah, it's gonna have to wait. Just a hint, I'm playing EK with the new Unleash support, which makes it reoccur a maximum of 3 times when you cast it, for a juicy quadruple cast of EK. But yeah, if you're interested in what I'm doing currently, if you want to just chat about builds or synthesis in general, if you want to hang out, or have any questions about the game, don't hesitate, come over to twitch.tv CatmasterOP, where I shall be hanging most of the time for the rest of the week, and probably for another week or 2 to come. Anyway, have a great day, thanks for watching, see you around.